Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's plenty of news to go around, but I've decided today, maybe later on today, I'll do another video on a news topic that I wanted to talk about, but I think this is so important. So I came across a channel that I've been subscribed to for a really long time, and his name is Doc Rich. And I noticed that the video that he had put up didn't get that many views. He's got like 1.7 or something like that million viewers. And this video that he put up, I feel it's so very important because it shows you, like a lot of us have been saying for a very long time, that this has all been planned decades prior to today, right? So I want to show you an archive that he reacted to from, what's his name? Mark Levine, I think it is, on a testimony that a senator gave a long time ago. I forget what year it was. I think maybe in the 70s or so, on how he would destroy America, right? I hope that those of you who read the title didn't think that I want to destroy America. Absolutely not. But I want you to see what the correlations are between what he was saying back then, 50 years ago, and what's been happening since.
What do you think?
Now, you all know that I love you if I'm willing to embarrass myself like that trying to play the saxophone. And just to let you know, Lulu's ears were not damaged during the recording of that clip. But let's get right to the video.
This is from several years ago, former Governor Richard Lamb, liberal Democrat of Colorado. Go.
I would like to share with you my plan to destroy America. If you think, and some do, that America is too smug, too rich, too self-satisfied, not diverse enough, too white bread, I have this plan. Toynbee, said that all great nations rise and they all fall. And he said, and the autopsy of history is all great nations commit suicide. So here's my plan, 8 parts. Number 1, I'd make it a bilingual, bicultural country. History shows us that no bilingual, bicultural country lives at peace with itself. There's not one, I believe, that doesn't exist with an incredible amount of tension and conflict, if not civil war. My second part of my plan would be to invent something called multiculturalism. This would be 2 parts. Number 1, I would say that all cultures are created equal. It would make no difference and make it impossible to talk about such things as culture. And the second one is that I would really try very hard to make people continue their cultural identity. I would replace the melting pot with the salad bowl.
I'm sure that a lot of you agree with what I'm about to say. I don't think that there is a problem with someone who lawfully immigrates into the United States and retains their identity as far as the culture that they came from. However, if you're going to come to the United States and pursue the American dream, it's because you love the American culture. It's because you want to be here and be part of it and add to it instead of take away from it.
My third part of my plan would be to make the fastest growing demographic group in that country the least educated. I would add a second underclass to the first underclass, unassimilated, undereducated, antagonistic, and then I'd have 50% of them drop out of school, not graduate from high school. The fourth part of my plan would be to get the big foundations to fund, and big business to fund these efforts with lots of money. I would invest in ethnic identity and victimology. I would get them to think about their lack of success was only the fault of the majority. I would start a grievance industry. The fifth part of my plan is I would develop dual citizenship. I would promise people actually divided loyalties, allow them to vote for both Vicente Fox and George Bush. The sixth part, and this is important, I would place all of these subjects off limits. I would make it taboo to talk about, actually, or criticize this whole thing. I would make it come up with a word like heretic used to be 200 years ago. Let's say we call it racist. And I would try to accuse anybody of this that would object to my ideas. My seventh part, then, I would make it impossible to enforce our immigration laws. I would develop a mantra, let's call it this, that because immigration has been good in the past for America, it will continue to be good in the future. My eighth and last part, and it's important, is I would censor this book. This man is dangerous. He's on to my plan. Don't read this book.
Well, the plan's in place. That's obvious. That's what's taking place in this country. You know, the gentleman who used to live next door to me was a wonderful gentleman. He passed away a little less than a year and a half ago, and I do miss him. His name is Bill. And when I would walk my dog Barney out there and he'd be walking his dog, we would bump into each other and we would chat about things. And he gave me this book. He said, I want you to read this book. He lent it to me. And I finished reading it. It was very, very important. It's not very long, you can see. And I knocked on his door to give it back to him. He said, no, actually, I want you to keep it. The Disuniting of America, Reflections on a Multicultural Society by Arthur M. Schlesinger, Jr. Does that name ring a bell with anybody? Arthur M. Schlesinger, Jr., the son of Arthur M. Schlesinger. His father was a noted historian, I believe from Harvard, and Jr., no question, was also a noted historian from Harvard, and he was a top advisor to Adlai Stevenson, but even more, to John Kennedy. Ever hear the book Profiles in Courage? Well, one of the people involved in writing that book was Arthur M. Schlesinger, Jr., not the only one, but one of them. And so his liberal credentials are unassailable, or were. He's passed away as well. And I want to read you something from this book that my neighbor gave to me on the Disuniting of America. Pressed too far, the cult of ethnicity has had bad consequences too. The new ethnic gospel rejects the unifying vision of individuals from all nations melded into a new race. Its underlying philosophy is that America is not a nation of individuals at all, but a nation of groups. That ethnicity is the defining experience for most Americans. That ethnic ties are permanent and indelible, and that division into ethnic communities establishes the basic structure of American society and the basic meaning of American history. Implicit in this philosophy is the classification of all Americans according to ethnic and racial criteria. But while the ethnic interpretation of American history, like the economic interpretation, is valid and illuminating up to a point, it is fatally misleading and wrong then when presented as the whole picture. The ethnic interpretation, moreover, reverses the historic theory of America as one people, the theory that has thus far managed to keep American society whole. Instead of a transformative nation with an identity all its own, America in this new light is seen as preservative of diverse alien identities. Instead of a nation composed of individuals making their own unhampered choices, America increasingly sees itself as composed of groups, more or less irreducible in their ethnic character. The multi-ethnic dogma abandons historic purposes, replacing assimilation by fragmentation, integration by separatism. It belittles unum and glorifies pluribus. The historic idea of a unifying American identity is now in peril in many arenas, in our politics, our voluntary organizations, our churches, our language. And in no arena is the rejection of an overriding national identity more crucial than our system of education. The schools and colleges of the Republic train the citizens of the future. Our public schools in particular have been the great instrument of assimilation and the great means of forming an American identity. What students are taught in schools affects the way they will thereafter see and treat other Americans, the way they will thereafter conceive the purposes of the Republic. The debate about the curriculum is a debate about what it means to be an American.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's why it's so important to have a school system that we can trust, that are teaching our children the right things. Mainly math, science, reading, etc. Not one that can indoctrinate them into an identity that someone else wants them to have instead of you, the parent. I'll leave the video at that because I don't want to hijack the whole thing. I'll go ahead and leave you the link to the video that Doc Rich put up because he obviously deserves the credit. He's the one that refound this video and put it up on his channel, at least I think, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, before I let you go, take a listen to this because I think that most of you here, if not all of you, would be like, what? I can enter to win a free reverse osmosis water filtration system so that I don't have to be drinking that poison that comes out of my tap? Or what? I can enter to win an awesome solar generator that OUPES is coming out with, I believe at the end of November, and I don't have to pay a penny to be entered to win? Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched this video up here, either there or there, go watch it and make sure that you enter to win one of these Q3 reverse osmosis water filtration systems from SIMPURE. SIMPURE is giving me several units to give away, but you have to go watch that video and enter to win. It doesn't cost you a penny, and as long as you live within the United States, you are eligible to be shipped one directly by SIMPURE if you're one of the winners. Everyone needs clean water. You can't trust your utility. No, this is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to do this. I'm doing this because I want to make sure that everyone that can has clean water to consume in their home. This is going to be open all the way through the 5th of November, and then I'll announce the winners maybe a week or so afterward. Another great company that's having a giveaway. OUPES has just come out with the Guardian 6000. It is an awesome solar generator that comes with 240 volt capability, something that a lot of people have been asking for over the years, especially those of you that get your water via a well. This will be able to power a 240 volt well. And you can also enter to win by clicking on the link, going to their site, putting in your email and subscribe, and you'll be entered to win one of the Guardian 6000s when they launch on the 25th of November, I do believe. But what's cool about this is that even if you're not in the market, ladies and gentlemen, put in your email, enter to win. But the more people that subscribe, the lower that the price goes when it launches. So right now we're at 1,630 people that have subscribed. If we bring it all the way up to 5,000, the price goes all the way down from like $2,300 to $1,700. So not only are you entering to win one of these, and good luck to you if you do enter, but you're helping to bring the price down to the lowest price possible at the date of launch. Good luck to everyone that does enter. Happy Monday to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll leave it at that for now. God bless every one of you. Love you all. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.